With Little Nightmares 2 coming out this February, I think it's the perfect time to delve into what makes Little Nightmares so scary. Truly, the environments and atmosphere are terrifying, but let's be honest, the creepy characters are the cherry on top. What's up? I'm Cosmic, and today on Panther Band Gaming, top 10 creepiest characters in Little Nightmares 2. Let's go. Tiptoeing her way to the number 10 spot is 6. If you haven't played the first game, you might not know that 6 is actually the protagonist in the first game. Now, in contrast to all the crazy and creepy stuff going on in Little Nightmares, 6 comes off as an innocent, scared little girl. But when you really take a closer look at her, you realize that she has a very haunting appearance. You never see her face. She's barefoot in a raincoat, and I find it hard to believe that I would try to help this child if I saw her walking down the alley in the dark. I know that sounds cold, but I would at least approach her with caution, cause she looks like she might pull a knife out on your ass, or something like that if you ask me. But that's not even what makes her scary. If you don't want spoilers to the first game, I advise not listening to this part and going to the 9th character on the list. That is your warning. Okay, now what really makes her scary is she has a hunger issue, which doesn't seem crazy once you see the world she lives in. There's really no food around and she's all alone. But the twist to her hunger is when she's too hungry, a dark version of herself manifests. Yeah, I know that's creepy, but it gets so much worse. If you feed her, the shadow goes away. But since there's not too much food to eat, she never really gets the chance to be full or I assume satisfied. You know, you're starving. You need to eat you need to eat regularly for some weeks to kind of recover from your hunger if you've been starved. So she really only gets hungrier throughout the first game. And at one point, a gnome tries to offer her. Gnomes are little guys that people assume were children running across the world. They're kind of skittish, but you know, they're not really dangerous. They're kind of cute, really. But anyway, at one point, a gnome tries to offer her a sausage, but her hunger is so strong that she ends up eating the gnome. And I'm not going to spoil the very end of the first game, but I'm just going to say she takes a bite out of something very fleshy. And that's all I'm going to say about 6. So yeah, she's cute, but hella creepy. Figuring his way out to the number 9 spot is our new protagonist, Mono. Now, in Mono's description, he sounds like a brave child, you know, like the Disney kid who saves everybody, protects people, and is just as brave as the adults, which sounds all good. But if you look at Mono, you don't get any of that. I guess in the world of Little Nightmares, he looks like a brave character, but in reality, he looks like a terrifyingly unpredictable child. I don't know if it's because of the paper bag on his head. I don't know. The blank stare is hard to miss because we can't see his eyes. We just see these round holes filled with darkness. Oddly enough, if you look very close, it looks like there's a smile between the eyes, which makes him look kind of cute. But further away, just looking at him without knowing that, he looks creepy as hell. Or it could be the fact that he crawls in and out of televisions. Yeah, we can thank The Ring and Poltergeist for making that concept scary. Hunting his way to the number 8 spot is the Hunter. Now, the Hunter stalks the woods and forests looking for the Little Nightmares. So very true to form. He himself isn't super terrifying despite the bag over his head and the one eye hole, but in his relentless pursuit, he is very terrifying. Also, the Hunter is a taxidermy who has proven to be quite homicidal towards our Little Nightmares. You can't exactly defeat him, you just have to keep running to avoid him. And just to add some more creepiness to his character, he doesn't even kill people right off bat. In the Little Nightmares comics, when he captures 6, he actually locks her in the basement for at least a month, and people are starting to believe that his method of taxidermy is to let his catch die from dehydration and starvation instead of just killing them. And the secret cave beneath the destroyed bridge in the wilderness has a mass grave with a shovel sticking out of it, so yeah, he definitely makes up for his lackluster looks. Wall crawling his way to the number 7 spot is not Peter Parker, but the Doctor. People believe this white coat experimented on himself and the other patients, but to no avail because One, he looks like a damn dead, bloated body that's been sitting in a lake for a month. Two, his teeth are huge and his gums are so swollen that they are protruding out his mouth for some reason. And you can see it like above his lip. You can just see his gums like damn near right under his nose. And three, his eyes. What the hell is going on with this man's eyes? They make him look even more like a corpse crawling up the walls. And really, he's just looking at you from the ceiling. Not sure if that really helps you digest his appearance, but did I mention that he crawls the walls in the ceiling? I don't think I really need to say much else about the doctor. You get it. Severely disciplining her way to the number 6 spot is the teacher. Now, at first glance, she's also another character who doesn't look too terrifying. She's almost the most normal looking character in the game. Well, at first. She's a teacher who looks like she's from the 1910s. Her face is creepy, even though it's probably the warmest face you will see in the game. But all of that is nullified when she extends her neck like something out of Nightmare on Elm Street. She doesn't have the best eyesight, but she likes to keep her children in check, and she does this by extending her neck to extreme lengths to get a closer look at misbehaving students. The Little Nightmares website describes her as such. Misbehavior will not be tolerated in the teacher's classroom, and nothing escapes her cold, twisted gaze. In her dominion, children should be seen and not heard, and if one should be heard, they will never be seen again. So, yeah, not warm anymore. And to add more creepiness to the situation, she has what are called the bullies as students. They're very creepy, and I'll be talking about them very soon, but what really takes the cake is if she catches you, she'll lunge at you with her Extendo Neck 3000, and then grab you with her mouth and take you back to her body like some type of serpent creature from hell. Yeah, nightmare fuel. Bullying their way to the number 5 spot are the bullies. Now, like I said earlier, these are the teacher's students, and she has them completely in check. And if she sees you, she can send these kids at you to do her bidding. Now, people think that they're living porcelain dolls, but I think we can be a little darker with this. I mean, it's safe to assume that these were once kids that somehow got turned into porcelain dolls. Maybe a metaphor on how schools can hollow out children emotionally. I don't know, but when you look at them closely, regardless of how they got this way, they look like porcelain dolls with slight veins in their face. Some actually have broken heads and none have eyes. They're also hyperactive and relentless on attacking Mono. The teacher will even let them attack Mono on sight. Maybe because the only thing they really have the freedom to do is attack and bully troublemakers. As independent as they are when a teacher is not around, they're truly an extension of the teacher's rule. Finger walking their way to the number 4 spot is the living hands. Now, these hands are what sold me on getting Little Nightmares 2, despite being only minor enemies. Crawling hands are creepy. Even in the Addams family, it's still creepy, but at least they made it comedic. These hands are literally just trying to kill you, and since you are so small, they're really a grave threat. And I know this might just be a personal feeling, but to me, these things are extremely unsettling. They're supposed to be the hands of the patients that the doctor experimented on, and basically, they have a mind of their own. And I'm guessing all their minds are saying, attack or kill Mono. And I don't know. Severed hands scuttling across the floor, trying to get to you is just very gut twisting for me. And even how you smash them with hammers is just all very unsettling. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. Maybe because I have a fear of breaking my fingers to the point that seeing broken fingers just really sends me into a mental spiral. So obviously creepy scuttling hands is a lot, and breaking the fingers on said creepy scuttling hands just adds more to that. Pop locking their way to the number 3 spot in this list are the patients. Even though these are minor villains in the game, they'll leave a pretty big impression on you. These supposedly mindless beings are just an amalgamation of prosthetics and human body parts. And they probably are the most diverse in appearance throughout the game. Some have prosthetics as heads, some have no heads, some are bandaged with no limbs. I mean they're basically just walking junk. And if that's not creepy enough, the fact that they only move in the dark makes them way creepier. As you see on the screen, when you encounter them, they're in the dark, and your flashlight is literally the only thing stopping them from doing whatever they're going to do to you. And it's more than enough of them to be quite unsettling in these moments. For a villain that's just made up of pieces, the tension they create is very effective. Binge watching their way to the number 2 spot are the viewers. They seem to be a living metaphor for how bad watching screens all day could possibly be. The viewers are human-like creatures with large heads. They have no facial features at all. Just a fleshy mess as a side effect of overexposure to the transmission coming from the signal tower. If you don't know, there's a signal tower giving out a transmission all throughout the land, making the Little Nightmares world be the way it is. And these people are addicted to watching the transmission to such an extreme degree that if you disturb them, they will chase you and hunt you down. And they're just completely creepy to look at. They're huge and all you can do is run from them. You cannot fight them in any way. I feel like they're also kind of a tragedy because based on what they're wearing, they probably just were watching or just glancing at the TV when the transmission came on, and now they're just stuck watching it. And because of keen eyes on the web, actually, we found out that eventually the TV will literally consume them. Like they'll get sucked inside the transmission. So yeah, just messed up all around. Broadcasting his way to the number 1 spot is the Thin Man. He is actually the main antagonist of Little Nightmares. He is the one responsible for the transmission coming from the Black Tower that is affecting the Pale City. The Little Nightmares universe isn't exactly explained all the way, so we don't know to what extent that this transmission is being broadcast, but we do know he is responsible for all the chaos going on within the city, and probably has been for a long time, as we're obviously seeing the aftermath of the town's overexposure to the transmission. How long? We don't know, but long enough that everything is messed up. The Thin Man is a tall, slender man looking guy wearing a grayish blue wrinkled suit and a fedora. His skin is wrinkly and a grayish blue color also. I think it's to make him look like he's from a 1950s TV show or something. It's possibly an illusion since he has the ability to influence televisions. In my honest opinion, due to his cricket kind of stature and unnatural misalignment, he kind of looks like he's been hung or he hung himself. His eyes are sunken in and emaciated, so basically he just looks like he's a hanging corpse to me. But he doesn't move like a zombie. He actually has the ability to teleport and has the same ability as Mono where he can go in and out of televisions. So obviously the most capable of all the characters and creatures. His online description says this: as the ever-present hum of the transmission chokes the airways, the Thin Man continues his endless journey through this desolate place, hunting the shadows, searching for something. Mwahaha. Now, we don't know if what he's searching for is Mono specifically, because Mono and Six are kind of the ones that got away, or if he's searching for something else entirely. But whatever he's searching for, he's still creepy as hell. And that's why he gets number 1. So what do you guys think of Little Nightmares 2? Did you play the first one? Are you interested in playing it now? Let me know down in the comments. I'm thinking about doing another top 10 for the first game in honor of the second, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm Cosmic. You can check me out on all social media platforms under Panther Band Gaming. You've been great. Thanks for watching and stay creative. Peace.